Cleanup continues today following this week's severe weather. Officials now say 15 people died in Georgia. About 28,000 customers still without power today. And in the town of Ringgold, residents and business owners being led back in after the town was almost destroyed by an EF4 tornado. Good Friday afternoon, everyone. I'm Karyn Greer. As homeowners take stock of what they have and what they've lost, they're looking to the state and federal government for help getting their lives back together. Joining us now to talk about what is being done to help them, Governor Nathan Deal. Thank you so much for joining us, Governor.
Thank you. Glad to be with you.
Now, you yesterday were able to tour some of the areas, Ringgold, Meriwether. What did you see? What did you feel as you were visiting some of these areas?
Well, obviously, utter devastation where the tornadoes actually touched down. And of course, Catoosa County and the Ringgold area had the largest loss of life with 8 people that lost their lives. It is a terrible situation. There's going to be a lot of aftermath of cleanup and debris removal and things of that sort. So we immediately began the process even before I took the tour because we'd already gotten reports. We declared some 16 counties as emergency counties, and we have sent the letter of request to the federal government, to the president, to request federal assistance. I talked with the president yesterday on the telephone, so we're hopeful that things are in motion.
What did he say when you talked to him about what was going on here? I understand he's right now in Alabama visiting devastation there.
Well, he obviously expressed his sympathy to the families that had lost individuals, but also promised that he would have the federal agencies to continue to work with our state agencies, and FEMA, which is the federal agency, is working cooperatively with GEMA, which is our state emergency management agency. And we think that we're moving in the right direction. Obviously, we need some federal money to help with the front-end cost and for the long term for individuals, hopefully that they will qualify for some help financially from the federal government.
Now, Governor Deal, what are we doing at this point? Shelters set up, those kinds of things. What are we doing in the way of aid?
Well, we had about 300 people that first day that sought shelter, and I think we had 3 separate shelters that were located in the heaviest hit areas. Some of those I think have already closed down because people have found alternative places to go. Through GEMA, we are working with local officials. The first thing, of course, is to try to get the roads cleared, make sure that the power lines that are down are not still powered so that people are not in jeopardy and danger. And that is an ongoing process right now.
And to get that money flowing, what is needed? What's the next process?
Well, the federal declaration of the emergency, we hope that that will come very quickly from the president. And if that happens, then that will begin to give us the flow of federal dollars that the state does not have those dollars that are going to be needed. So we do need federal help, and we're hopeful it will come. You
and I talked about Gainesville and what happened at that point. This in no way compares to those tornadoes that hit us then, back in '98.
Well, the '98 tornado in the Gainesville-Hall County area, I think we had a loss of 11 lives there. The one thing I think we need to remember, though, is that after that, that was a tornado that we had almost no warning at all about. Governor Miller, who was the governor at that time, instituted a program to put in sirens and other devices such as a reverse 911 and weather radios for different counties. We're going to reconvene that process after these and see if we still need to do additional work so that we can notify people. And I want to thank your station and the other stations for doing a great job in your weather forecasting, your meteorologists making people aware of what was the danger and how imminent it was. I do think that that combination of a lot of different people being put on notice reduced the death toll in the state of Georgia, and we're all thankful for that.
And that's something we have heard, that all the sirens, everything appeared to be in working order at this point, which probably did do a lot to save lives and prepare people.
We think so. Obviously, in the rural parts of our state, we still have some coverage areas, and we're going to try to address that.
And anyone that you talked to when you were out there that really left something on your heart to think, oh my goodness, this is just more than I think anybody can bear?
Well, I had that on my heart after looking at the damage and knowing about the loss of life. When I got out of the helicopter in Trenton, Georgia, up in Dade County, I walked over to a gentleman who was standing there next to a totally devastated building, and I said, well, this is a sad day. He said, no, this is a great day. He said, yesterday, my daughter and son, who are standing right here, were in that building, and it was totally devastated. He said their lives were saved, and for me, it is a great day. So we have a lot of Georgians with the right spirit, And we're seeing a lot of private individuals and nonprofit organizations who are stepping up and helping their neighbors. And that's what makes Georgia a great place to live.
One of the things we've heard is you want people, if they want to give, to go to the bigger organizations to do that.
That's correct. I think the traditional agencies, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, and other organizations, and there's some in local communities that are filling those needs, and I would urge people to take advantage of helping in that regard.
And what's next for you? I know you and your office have been very busy working with Insurance Commissioner's office and everyone else. What's next?
Well, we're going to continue to do everything at the state level to try to get people's lives back in order, and continue to work with FEMA at the federal level to try to get the necessary assistance coming to the people who deserve it in our state. It is a huge undertaking, and it is not something that's going to be cured instantly because the devastation was widespread. I think the report is we had at least 8 confirmed tornadoes, possibly as many as 11. I think that is unprecedented.
And finally, Governor, any dollar amount at this point?
No, we're making that assessment. That will be part of the federal assessment as well as to what the total damage is, but that's ongoing.
Governor Nathan Deal, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this and let people at home know just what's being done.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.